Good morning to all. There wouldn't be anyone who haven't dreamed at least once in their life. But how many would have at least been into the path of it? I was born into a normal Indian middle class family, without any musical backgrounds, but a well educated family. My father was chief engineer at Marine, my mom a postgraduate. We were sailing with him, the family was going happy and peaceful until the day. That morning I remember father telling he wasn't able to lift up his hands and legs. I was just 4 years old, was actually laughing at him by seeing his gestures, but soon realized there is something wrong seriously. We rushed him to the hospital. They took him from the ICU to the ventilator. Doctors came informing to us to call all the relatives. Everyone was repeatedly telling the name stroke. He laid paralyzed, completely lost his memory, couldn't even recognize us. All we could do was to pray. Meanwhile, there were some other people who were trying to take advantage of this situation, both financially and some were giving weird looks, whose meaning I came to understand only when I grew up as a girl. Months of treatment, we got our dad back. I need to say it was my grandfather who took all the pain and extra efforts to make us happy, whatever the situation was. He wanted us to enjoy each and every moment of our life. He wanted me to do all those things I loved to and realized I loved singing. Meanwhile, mom was finding it really hard to cope up with the job schedules and the schedules of my dad's treatment. But she never wanted me to compromise any of my dreams. She says nothing happens at the perfect time. Whatever the difficulties may be, just follow your heart and go for your dreams. And that's how I joined Carnatic music classes and karate classes. Again, for that, my grandma was a great motivator too. Things were going smooth again. I started performing live sessions, studio recordings. It was at the age of 12, while I was performing on a stage live, my voice started cracking in between. I was finding it really hard to breathe. Really felt like fainting. I don't know what was going on. That was my first allergic asthmatic experience. Didn't have heard that before, nor did think it's going to be a regular visitor in my life. But it came every month, then the duration reduced. Came on a daily basis, hourly basis, and then carving out each and every moment of my life. It starts off with a slight itching in the eye, then in the nose. You feel like sneezing, find it really hard to breathe, even feels like fainting. Literally, you won't be able to do anything normal. Now, for me, it was difficult to take even a normal breath. How can I even think of singing? Now, that was the most killing part. People started asking me, why are you trying to sing with all these difficulties? You're a studious girl, just go with your studies. But all those time, it was my parents who stood by my side, trying out all the ways to get this thing out of my life. When I reached 12th standard, we understood one among the symptoms for this reason for this allergy was sunlight. Can we imagine a day without sun? But it did happen. After my 12th standard, there was a 3 months break before entering into college. I didn't step out of my house, stayed inside without even getting affected by the slightest ray of sunlight. It did help. I started regaining my voice texture again, started doing live sessions, studio recordings. Then came some other people offering some opportunities with some demands, which I could never ever accept. Some were demanding for money and some for sexual benefits. For both, I said no, and that was it. Meanwhile, I had joined BTech Civil Engineering in Cochin University of Science and Technology, was happily enjoying my college, but something was always pulling me back. I knew it's unfair, like we have to drop our dreams for some people and their filthy activities. No. I thought like we have to find some or the other way by ourselves. And that's how I started my YouTube channel. I wasn't a person who was much into social medias, but now I was trying to put all my videos singing out loud in all the social media platforms. But the funniest thing that was happening at that time was I was into civil engineering and a person who have to stand under the sun for long durations. Again, the allergic asthma started its second wave. It was becoming stronger and stronger, and I started becoming weaker. In my third year, I still remember, I went to Inter-University South Zone Arts Festival representing my college. And guess what? I wasn't able to participate. Now this time it wasn't an allergic asthma. It was a vocal infection. I was completely muted for 2 months. And my fourth year was like a nightmare. Every night my parents had to take me to hospital. I was struggling for breath, and now my mom had to take care of 2 patients at a time. But she always stood really strong, and that's what was keeping on inspiring me to go forward without losing hope. But after BTech, I felt like all the ways were closing its doors and gates in front of me, and I entered in front of another gate, the GATE exam, Graduate Aptitude Test for Engineers. Though I never dreamt for an office job, but being from a normal Indian family, a society demands us to either go for a government job or to get married. Both sounded a bit weird to me, but I thought like first one was much better comparatively. Meanwhile, I was trying to get my health better, trying out all the possible ways, treatment methods, yoga, meditation, etc. All of a sudden, it was the entire world got struck with COVID-19 outbreak. We were all praying for the entire world, resulted in endless number of lockdown days. We're all trying out new things, new experiments in music, talking to ourselves, staying safe and healthy. I started embracing my solitude. Meanwhile, I cleared my GATE exams, got admission into the most prestigious institute for engineers, Indian Institute of Technology. But literally was crying every night. I felt like I'm losing my passion. Then it was Super 4, a reality show in Malayalam TV channel. Getting a call from such a show itself was a great happiness because the list of rejections was too long. Then felt like it's a great platform. I wanted to do my best, and that was the problem there. On the day of performance, I was so nervous in front of so many lights and cameras. For the first time, I'm standing in front of such a huge crowd. I got really nervous, and I was the first contestant to be on the floor on that day. Added up all my anxieties, and I ended up messing up that performance. I need to say that was one of my worst performances ever. I was thinking like, why am I going through all these all the time? Everyone around me were giving negative comments. I felt like I need to drop this. This is not meant for me. But sometimes it is our solitary voice that gives us power. I asked myself what was going wrong. Got the answer too. It was my fear. There is only one thing that can make your dream impossible, and that's fear. Started trying out new things to get more confident. Meanwhile, I was messing up with my IIT MTech course too. It was really hard to switch between music and studies. One is my passion and one is my responsibility. The unavailability of books, online classes, everything was a bit struggling. I was trying some or the other way to get happiness, and that was taking videos, singing out the songs which I love the most, taking the cover versions, trying out new experiments in music. And that's how even I felt like sending an entry to Shreya Ghoshal ma'am's Angna More challenge. A.R. Rahman sir's 99 songs Star contest. Now, I was actually trying to get out of my fear. But getting selected in these contests were like not just a blessed moment for me, but it's like some events and some people give us another perspective to life. Now, by this point, for me, it was not just to become a musician. The dream was much bigger. There would be thousands of people who might have dropped their dreams because of their struggles, obstacles, stressful situations they have faced in their life. I wanted to be an inspiration. If at least one person is able to go for their dreams by remembering my name, I thought that would be just great. I don't know if this is a too big dream, but that's what is making me dry now. And in fact, I know it's the process which I'm loving more than the destination. We all know that we all have imperfections. Sometimes we try to rectify all of them. Some do get rectified, but some do remain. But sometimes the imperfections which remain with us define our identity, make us unique. And if people are not able to see your uniqueness, just go build up your own platform and present your uniqueness in the most beautiful form. Just find satisfaction in what you love to do, then you can create magic. I'm wishing all of you the very best. Thank you.